On this phone this morning.
Okay,
She didn't leave her name,
okay,
but this is the property she owns in Bird City.
mm-hmm,
She's got some evaluation questions.
okay.
This is her number. Would you give her a call?
Mm-hmm.
See what,
What number's that? I'm gonna go look at that when I get home.
626.
No, I just need the address, 502.
Can I have this paper back? That's
Yeah,
our recycling budget.
no, yeah, you can, I think she's already called and visited with me,
Okay,
so, yeah,
so feel good?
yeah.
Okay, good.
And I was just wanting to see, I've got to take use PAP every 4 years. It's Uniform Standards, Practices, and Procedures, and it's in Wichita, May 15th through the 17th, and then I have to take compliance, and they have that scheduled for July 10th in Hayes. So I'd like to get into both of those if I could. How are you, Leslie?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Any word on if we're going to the tax appeal?
Haven't heard anything.
We might be going to Topeka.
An appeal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad, did you see that bill last year where they wanted to include the county commissioners in that process?
Oh, jeez.
I'm glad that did.
So
go.
you guys had to sit in on all hearings?
Yep.
Yeah.
You mean Ed would have to sit in on all the hearings?
I wouldn't understood it anyway, so it wouldn't have made it.
Well, this year they wanted to try to get the county to pay, if the county lost, to cover the taxpayers.
The expense.
That was one more than we got.
Any discussion on that? It's a requirement of the job, so
I'd say there isn't much discussion.
No.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
All right.
thank you though for
Yep.
coming in and
Yep, thank you.
informing us.
Thanks.
Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, everybody.
I think we have your paperwork already.
Okay. I called just a few minutes ago to double check the number here. And Sharissa said, "Oh, have them call me and I'll transfer it." So,
Okay. So we're expecting a phone call from,
yeah,
From Randy.
From Randy, yeah. There was an agenda here too. Everybody got a copy of that? Or maybe you don't get it.
got the one on my phone, my computer.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
So Randy's going to want to discuss the addendum for the quarterly reconciliation payments. There's a document for that.
And we've already signed and approved it.
No, that's the extension.
Oh, extension, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, then there's the extension on the current lease agreement. Yeah, okay, it's that one. And then the, the generator repair expense. So I think those invoices have been submitted to Scott.
I believe so, yes.
Coming about $3,000. I think we mentioned that before, but now the work is done. And it's on the small generator, which anyway is going to be relocated in the next few months down to the assisted living.
Because you've got the new big one.
Yeah.
And it's fully operational now.
It's not hooked up at all.
It's not hooked up. So you're still relying on the smaller one at this time?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're waiting on some electric box that's not there yet to hook up the big one.
Well, if I remember right, The problems arose right before a snowstorm, so we kind of rushed through the repair on that to make sure that the generator was going to be operational during that snowstorm.
Yeah. And then indeed, they needed to switch over to the generator because the
Yeah,
power went out.
Yeah, we lost power, so that was a good move.
So I was about 5 or 6 hours after they got it operating again. How often does that happen? It worked
Well,
out,
we got to be lucky once in a while.
yeah. Well, should we go to the March operating statement?
Sure.
So revenue was up in March. Again, it's not quite clear why. It was different, I think. There were some receipts in February that weren't paid, but they came in March. That's how I figure it must have worked. And average resident days was 27.8. So the census was a little higher, plus March had 3 more days than February, so that helps explain the difference. And surprisingly, Medicare daily gain or loss was actually a little bit of a gain, very small. And then the apartments had kind of the usual revenue, operating expense down a little bit. Still just 8 residents there. And so overall for the month, we were at minus 18,000 on the skilled nursing, plus almost 3,000 on the apartments. So balance for the month was a minus 15,796. So that's down. If we could sustain that, that'd be okay.
Yeah, that does look a lot nicer. The openings in the senior apartments.
There's one.
There's one, yeah.
But what's happening there is we're negotiating to get a long-term CNA, and that will be her living quarters for 8 weeks. And after that, we have an employee who qualifies to live there, who's selling her house, and she wants to rent it. So it will save us money hosting the CNA that's here she lives in Georgia, for 8 weeks. And she's been at our facility before. She's a really good CNA. And when she's completed her assignment, there's a renter to take over apartment 6.
Okay.
And then I had a description of the operating statement on the narrative page. Any questions or comment on that?
None other than, I kind of like this form. It's easier for us to read.
Okay.
How come it always
Is this
costs more?
prepared in anticipation of the board approving the quarterly payments? Is this for like the first quarter, like the 18,000 over budget? Or is that just March?
That was just March. It's 18 over budget. That was just March.
And again, it looks to me like it's all contractual staff that you have to hire to come in.
That's a lot of it. Yep.
Okay.
Housekeeping has a housekeeper that's come back. So that's just a little higher. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Randy Fitzgerald with Good Samaritan Society.
Good morning, Randy. This is Terry Riger.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Well, Jeff is here, and
Okay.
so we're ready. Anytime you'd like to start, Randy.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody, and appreciate you letting me do this via phone. Is Leslie there?
Yes, she is.
Okay, great. Well, I just really appreciate Leslie working with us on this last week. We have just two things on our agenda, and if Jeff could follow up if he's there.
Okay.
One is to change when the county will reimburse the society for operational support.
Yes.
We wanted to go to every quarter. Hopefully that's okay with you guys.
Yes, we've talked about it, and we see no problem with doing that.
Okay, great. If it's hopefully possible to get a check cut so I could hit my books in April, that would really be appreciated.
I signed the check earlier this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And if we could,
Then
while
the
we're-
second thing is just our lease agreement. And we talked about last time is, since we're up July 1st, and I propose that we extend it to March 1st of 2019, and also to include $1,000 a month to operate or to oversee the assisted living facility, the new one that's going to be built. That way, it gives everybody time. It gives you guys time. Get your your groups in the community time to do your due diligence and take pressure off everybody. So I just felt that was fair, and if that's okay with you guys, then we can execute that extension to March 1st, 2019.
We also appreciate the offer, and Leslie's had a chance to review all of it, and I'm sure you've had discussions with her.
Yep.
I don't believe we have any problems there.
Okay.
So when will
Great.
$1,000 start? When will
after it's operational.
it's operational?
But you might let Randy know if you can't hear me that we already signed the contract, and I just need to know where to send it.
Okay, Randy, we've already signed the contract. We made a motion and approved it and signed it. Leslie needs to know where to send it to.
Just tell Leslie she can just send it to me, and then just a copy to Jeff.
Okay, all right. So we've already made this decision.
No.
Or do we need to
this
make a
is the-
motion?
Yeah, you need a
Okay.
motion to change the payment schedule and adopt that addendum.
Okay. All right, do I hear a motion to go ahead and approve the financial addendum number 2 to the operation transfer to lease agreement with Good Samaritan Society, making the quarterly reconciliation payments instead of twice a year? So moved. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
You want this, or you want us to mail it?
We'll deposit it today.
Okay.
in the bank. I'll take it.
Okay, Jeff has the check and also the signed agreement. Do you want that?
Okay.
You
Or
want
do you
that?
want me to send out with this other addendum and provide a copy to you?
We'll just send a copy to you, send it along with the other agreement.
Okay. Wonderful.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
All right, Jeff, well, thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
You bet. Have a good day, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Long, Randy.
Okay, goodbye. Thanks, Jeff. And thank you, Leslie, for your help.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
Hello, NORAD
Anybody starts
Command.
talking Ed, you answer. Okay,
And then, any more discussion on any of that, but that was pretty smooth. Thanks for taking care of so many things there in
Leslie had
advance.
prepped us very well, so
Okay.
she's the one.
I was able to visit with Randy. He was very accessible, I appreciate that. And we were able to get through all of this, get revisions done to the commissioners, give them a heads up so that we were ready to go today.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
super
that's the way we
smooth.
like it,
Yeah.
smooth.
I just wanted to make mention of the fact that we've lost a lot of personnel recently and unplanned. We've had 2 CNAs that ended up being no call, no show. We have one CNA that needed to leave. And we have another CNA who's going to go starting on medical leave this week for surgery. And we have another CNA who was injured, assisting a resident who's on light duty. So we are running very short, and we need to take some aggressive action, we feel, to try to get our staffing back up where it needs to be. So there'll be more expense for advertising. And we're considering to offer sign-on bonuses too, which we don't normally do, but
No, but I think it's a coming thing for anything to do with the medical field. I've heard
yeah.
a lot of comments about sign-on agreements and bonuses and that type of thing.
yeah, I was at a conference in Wichita last week, and 80% of the administrators surveyed said that's their number one problem, staffing,
Sure.
scheduling. So it's not just us, it's across the whole state and
Well,
beyond.
if you read any newspaper through the wanted ads, and it's pretty much all in the medical field.
Yep, yeah, around here they're offering sign-on bonuses. They've offered it in Benkelman, and I think it was Logan County Hospital and some other places.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that rural America has to bear the brunt of this, but that's the way it is.
So some of the people we recruited and oriented and trained ran, 2 of them lasted 2 weeks, then they were gone. Wasn't for them. That's unfortunate.
Okay, well,
That's the way it goes.
okay, Jeff. Thank you very much for
Okay,
keeping
well,
us
thank
on.
you, everybody. Leslie?
And again, I kind of like this.
All right, well,
format.
if you like it, I'll keep doing it.
All right,
It's helpful.
thank you.
Yeah.
Morning, Roger.
How you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Monday morning. Ready to rip it.
Okay, we're ready.
Ready?
I have one.
You got that one? I think about 3 weeks ago, I got a little scared with the rumor that Thomas County was pulling out of our organization in Colby. And it'd be a pretty big blow to our budget. Excuse me. So I had a meeting, Terry came, commissioner from Decatur, and then all 3 of them from Rollins were there. And we went over some stuff. I had my director or our director in Colby revise the budget up with taking their dues out and maybe seeing what we could do to cut. And we cut about $55,000 off our budget. And that made it, brought the budget down to where I think we could afford to make it work. I was a little concerned at first. I thought the dues were going to be considerably higher, but we want to leave the dues the same as you paid last year, $6.41. So as far as budgeting for you guys, I would imagine what you paid last year will be pretty close to what you pay this year. Bird City may have a higher volume since they weren't up running totally last year.
Okay,
So,
that sounds good. That's good news.
yeah, I think we can do it. Losing, that's $50,000 we lost on dues from Thomas County. Now, at our meeting last Thursday, the commissioner was there, Mike Bond. He, by the end of the meeting, I was a little more encouraged that they may reconsider. What they found they're going to do, I call it dirty recycling. They're just going to throw it all together and haul it, have Hill's Trash Service haul it down to Hutchinson to a place called Stutzman's where they throw it on the floor, sort it down there. But they have about a 30% trash rate. About 30% of what they throw on the floor goes to the trash, to the landfill. And KDHE doesn't like that. them being supposedly a recycling center. But the thing about Stutzman's down there, they're owned by Waste Management, I believe, and they're nationwide waste deal. So recycling isn't what they're good at. And I think what happened in Colby, we had the trash man over there, and Hills Trash Service got together and tried to make a recycling program. So,
That was really truly just a trash hauling.
yeah, it is. Basically, you just wave goodbye and it'd be gone. And I have no control. The way we do it up here is very clean compared to that. We have about a 5% contamination on our recyclables because it's sorted up here. The people actually do a pretty good job of sorting it here, taking it up. It's sorted again by the guys up here, and then when it gets down to Colby, it's sorted again. And that's why we tend to get the organization gets a little bit higher price on our recyclables. The other thing about that service that Colby's doing is they won't take cardboard. They'll take it, but they won't pay them for it. And to haul cardboard down there would be, what Hills are charging is $2 each way, and then a $350 tipping fee. So it sounds like Hills are the one that's going to be making the
Yeah.
money on this deal.
Did we put any more thought into offering to buy other cardboard and haul it ourselves? And
Yep. We talked about that at the last meeting, and it was okayed by the board, and so Lynette is going to start sending out letters to all the surrounding counties that we will take their cardboard. So, because Thomas County is not the first county to do this. Gove and Logan County are also doing that, but they won't take their cardboard.
so we might have an
They're doing
opportunity.
the dirty recycling.
Huh?
You say Logan and them are doing the dirty recycling?
Yep. Now, Logan, the guy that runs the landfill down there, he sat on my board. He was very discouraged that they chose to do that, and he's still not sold that it's going to work. So they may be knocking on their door again.
The nice thing about this cardboard, if instead of just hauling it off as trash, if we can get a hold of it and recycle it, we'll give them a percentage of whatever, but we'll still make money on it. We'll still make money on other counties' cardboard if this works out.
We're going to offer them 25% of what we get paid. And right now, cardboard's down. It's about $60. But if Logan County would haul from Oakley to Colby, that'd be a lot less mileage than it would be to Hutchinson. Plus, they would be getting right now $15 a ton, which is not going to set the world on fire, but it
Still
is
better
something
than
for them. So, but like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was ready to throw in the towel, and I'd even figured up another way. Maybe you guys could look at doing this dirty recycling. But I think that we figured out Thursday, cutting some stuff. A couple of years ago, we got in a bind when at the last minute in December, Scott County pulled out on us. They were they were next to Thomas County on population and stuff, and it really hurt our budgets. So I had to come and ask you guys. I don't remember, Ed, you might have been sitting here. I had to ask you for $10 per capita that year. Well, what we did is we tried to run on the least amount that we could. Well, after that year was up, we ended up that we could take $2 of that capita and put it in a contingency fund. So we have that. And then also we started not using our sales of materials because it fluctuates so much. We started not using that in our budget. We just put it to the side, and then if we need it for repairs or something, we do that. And then we also have an equipment repair fund. So that's why I think we're a little more comfortable saying that we can run next year on the 641. And if we have to get into the contingency funds and stuff, we can, that would be available to us. But,
Do you have enough room to hold all this cardboard that you're gonna take?
yeah.
Because, that's kind of like any other market, it fluctuates
Yeah.
pretty fast.
But as soon as we get a semi-load, Sunoco is the company we deal with out of Hutchinson, they send a semi over. And
Well, Roger, do you want to kind of explain, after that first meeting, where you were at and how much per capita it was going to be and how you have gotten it down to this? Because I think that's impressive.
yeah, some of it was mathematical error on my part.
Well, but
It's as
even
simple as
so-
that.
Well, even so.
I don't
mean,
know, I don't think quick on my feet, and that night I was using my phone as a calculator, and I just made a mathematical error.
But even so, you were able to get it down
Yeah.
significantly.
One big reason is with the 3 counties, we'll only be using a part-time truck driver now, and we were paying a full-time truck driver. The full-time truck driver was really, really good help, because when he wasn't on the road, he was working in the center over there. But interesting enough, Thomas County hired him. So.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Thomas County, what decision they finally wind up
Yeah,
making.
and like I said, after last Thursday, I could see that the wheels were turning, and I think that Mike had not gotten our side of the story, and especially about how dirty the recycling was.
So how dirty did you say it is? 15%?
30%.
30.
They
And
think
where does all this go?
landfill.
But
Oh, you mean
what county does it go to?
Hutchinson?
You would think they wouldn't want all that extra in their landfill.
Right.
Well, I'm sure they're being rearsed for it.
Well,
That or
no,
maybe
but
they're
you
such a
still
big
gotta dig
company.
hole or
Yeah.
Well, I think that's run by Waste Management down there, isn't it? So, they got several places in the state
Yeah.
that you can go.
And they might, being that big of operation at Waste Management, maybe they bale it like Goodland does and then be able to haul it and bury it somewhere else. I'm sure you guys are aware how Goodland does theirs. Trash, they bale it all and haul it down
Except
south.
styrofoam.
Huh?
Except styrofoam. Did you see the hole in the wall?
Oh, really?
One blowed out. Blowed a hole clear through their wall down.
Really?
Wouldn't have think styrofoam would have that much pressure.
Boy, no
but it
kidding.
does.
Out of a bale, huh? It expanded and blew out. Well, they deserve it.
we're on TV.
Yeah, oh, sorry. It ain't the first one. Yeah.
Well, I was a little surprised. I went to this meeting a couple weeks ago, and given the numbers that was presented to each county, I just can't believe that some of these other counties left the organization, because mathematically it was not a great move on their part. So one of my comments was, why don't we re-contact all these counties that have left the organization, contact their commissioners and say, no, you need to look at the numbers a little differently. And apparently Mike Bond and Colby's kind of seeing that. So, hopefully maybe we can draw in back some of the communities that we've lost.
What happens, I think, we've been going since we started negotiations of setting up this cooperatives in 2001. Took us a couple of years before the Attorney General gave us our deal, but that's how long it's been. And, we had county commissioners sitting on that board back then and stuff that had started it up, because that was the only way we could get rid of our recycling. The guy that was supposed to take it up here on the hill was not, we were outside then, but was not doing it on a regular basis. And he was the same one with Thomas and Logan County, and therefore, and then Rollins joined us, but it was, those guys realized what the deal was. Well, as you know, commissioners have a big turnover, and then that 1.5%, or the lid that was imposed on you guys, a year, 2 years ago, that scared them. So they thought anything to save money or to be cheaper, and basically they thought recycling was a fluff group, because like Decatur, they can bury all they want.
Yeah,
They
they
got
have
plenty
like
of room.
100-year life left in their landfill.
We don't have that deal. Now, I think that it sounded like we might have got some more life extended to our landfill, but it's going to be vertical, and that's going to be difficult, I would think. contain vertical trash.
Well, it'd be more costly because you got all the dirt in.
Yep. So, but you guys are doing good. In KDHE, Cheyenne County was actually talked about at the Works Conference about a month ago when Lynette was there, at the amount that recyclables is generated in Cheyenne County. Stuff. And I think maybe that's why they're a little more generous on your landfill then.
Yeah. Well, you got to appreciate our facility up here. It's accessible, it's nice, it's clean, and again, it's highly accessible to everybody who lives here.
And I'll tell you, Bird's doing really good. They got a grant from KDHE for a forklift, and they're applying for some for, I believe, summer help. Willie Martinez has really done a lot of work on it over there. So that's why I think you guys might see a little bit more tonnage next year. So,
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and when we get to the budget time, probably starting next month, we'll appreciate the fact that
okay.
we can stay pretty close.
Yeah, well, my bylaw says I have to give you one of these this time of year. Sometimes I've been a little late, but it's our budget. But like I said, you might check and see what you paid last year, because we did it a little different because you guys are paying mileage.
Okay.
So, okay?
All right.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Roger.
Have a good day.
What's that sales tax, or that property tax deal going?
Yeah.
Take a break. You want to get Dave in here?
Just a minute. Can you break? Yeah, let's take a 5-minute break.